Today I'll show you how I recreated this submarine flood scene in Blender just like FERN did in one of his videos. You're going to learn how to model the submarine interior, design the characters and make fluid simulations just like FERN. And if you want to follow along, all the assets are going to be available for free in the description. Now let's start. This video is special because lots of you told me that you're struggling with scene building for your documentaries. So that's why I wanted to challenge myself and I decided to model the entire submarine interior from zero. But if you only care about the fluid simulation, you can use this model that only costs $5 and go to the timestamp that addresses the water simulation. Okay, so let's set up the 3D scene. First, I'm going to be working in cycles and I'm going to choose experimental and GPU compute. In the viewport sampling, I'm going to choose 60 and activate denoise and select here optics. And here in the render samples, I'm going to use 200 and activate denoise and select here optics because I have an NVIDIA graphic card. Then I'm also going to check here motion blur and increase the shadow angle to something like 0.7. And here in the color management settings, I'm going to choose AGX and high contrast. And I'm also going to increase the exposure to 0.8. I'm going to tweak this later, but for now I'm just going to use 0.8 of exposure. And here in the output settings, I'm going to work with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 and 24 frames per second. Just because I'm doing a tutorial, if you want more quality or more frames per second, that's fine. The frame rate, I'm not going to tweak this for now. I'm going to tweak this in the future. Here in the output, just select a folder where you want the frames of your animation to be exported. Here, select PNG and lower the compression to 0. Now I'm going to press Shift-A and going to add a cube. And I'm going to press G, seed, and Control, and then drag my mouse up so the cube is on the floor of the scene. I'm also going to click here to see here the item, the transform here, the dimensions. And I'm going to click here and change the pivot point from median point to 3D cursor. So every time I scale this object is from the 3D cursor. And I'm going to scale it up until the dimension right here, it's something like 2.5. So roughly right here. I'm going to apply the scale and now I'm going to change this back to transform pivot point to median point. Going to hide this for now. I'm going to press 7 on my numpad and then I'm going to press S, X and Control and I'm going to look to the upper left corner and scale this up until it says roughly 5.3. So roughly right here. Now I'm going to press Ctrl A and apply the scale and now I'm going to enter edit mode and press Ctrl R and make a loop cut right here, and with your mouse wheel you scroll a little bit until you have something like this. You're going to press left click and then right click to maintain everything as it is, and now enter face selection mode by pressing 3 so you can select the faces right here, and I'm going to select this face and shift click this face right here, and I'm going to press E and Control, and I'm going to roughly 2 increments, something like this, and I'm going to do the same right here. Select this face, press E, Control, and move 2 increments, something like this. Okay, so now you want to make another loop cut right here and press right click and then press 7 on your numpad. Go to vertex selection mode by pressing 1 and then go to X-ray view and select all of these vertices right here and delete them just like this. Go back to solid view and I'm going to add a modifier here in the modifiers tab and I'm going to select mirror modifier. And we're going to have something like this. And if you want to have colors right here, you want to go here and then select here in the color section random. So you have something like this to begin and then you select random. Now go to edit mode again and press 3 to select the faces and select these faces right here with shift click these faces and delete them. edit faces, and you have something like this. I'm going to hide the mirror modifier for now, just pressing this button right here, so I can work more comfortably, you know. So I'm going to get closer to here, and I'm going to go to edit mode, press 3 and select these faces right here, and I'm going to press I to make an inset and make something like this, and then I again make another inset, something like this, and I'm going to press right click and extrude faces along normals, and I'm going to make something like this, and I'm going to click here and select offset even. Then I'm going to press Ctrl R and make loop cuts right here and something like this. It's going to be fine, and press right click. Then you want to select these faces right here and press right click and extrude faces along normals, and you want something like this. So you have this. So now you want to make another loop cut right here and drag it somewhere right here and make the same right here and drag it right here. Then you want to press 2 to select lines like this, and you want to select these lines right here, these ones that we generated that we don't actually want. So these lines right here and also here, and press right click and dissolve edges, something like this. And you want to do the same here, select these lines right here. If you're a professional modeler, not like me, you're probably freaking out or doing something like that. So please, in the comments, correct me if you want, because I'm not actually an expert and I'm doing this just by experience and by using my eyes. Either way, I managed to get a good result, but I don't think this is perfect because I'm not actually a 3D modeler. So here, dissolve edges like this. Also, I want to dissolve these edges right here, right click and dissolve edges. And then these edges right here, I want to go here and change the pivot point to individual origins and press S cell 0, just like this. And I'm going to change it back to median point and press S again, S seed, and yeah, something like this. I'm also going to add another modifier here. I'm going to add a bevel modifier, and I'm going to increase the segments by 2, and also I'm going to change here from angle to weight. So now you want to go to edit mode, and first I'm going to select all of this and press GY, to make it more like GY, to make it more symmetrical. I'm going to select here the lines. I'm going to select these lines right here, pressing shift. So shift click. And I'm also going to select these lines right here and these lines right here. And I'm going to click here and go to item, and here where it says mean bevel weight, you want to put it to 1. So now these edges are beveled by this modifier right here. And now let's see if everything is okay by adding a subdivision surface modifier, and you want to increase it to 3, and also here shade smooth. And yeah, it works! So if you made it bad, you will see some clipping right here. I think there is actually some clipping, so roughly right here, but we are not going to make super close-ups of this, so it's fine for now. So now basically you want to do the same but from this angle, so I'm going to speed up this part. And there you go. The only difference here is that I actually kept these edges right here, unlike this area. Well, I mean, I left these edges right here, so I think this will be the same, and here is also identical to here, so that's fine. So now the next problem is, as you can see, this is asymmetrical, so to solve that you want to go here to these faces and press Ctrl R and make 6 loop cuts, the same amount of loop cuts that this wall has. So Ctrl R, and you want 6, and there you go. Now it's better. The next thing is the floor, so let me turn off the subdivision just to see better, and press here Ctrl R and make 2 loop cuts like this, and also here Ctrl R and make 2 loop cuts right here, and also make another loop cut right here. So now go to face selection and start selecting these faces right here, all these faces right here. And now press E and extrude down, something like this. There you go. Now you want to delete these faces right here. So all these faces that were generated because of this extrusion, like this, and also from the other part, like this, and delete faces. There you go. You also want to go to edge selection mode and select these lines right here, just like this. You want to select this, and now increase here the bevel weight like this. So now let's activate subdivision and let's see if everything is fine, and it looks like this. So as I already told you, this is not perfect, but I actually managed to make a good render out of this, so at least I'm proud of myself. So now let's see, activating the mirror modifier, and we have something like this. So the camera will be placed somewhere right here. Now I also want to make this more claustrophobic, so I'm going to make this narrower, something like this, Ctrl A and apply scale. And I want to do the same with these corridors right here, so let's press 7 and activate X-ray view, and let's select edges. Yeah, edges are fine, and I want to select all of this and press SX, and I want to make it more claustrophobic, something like this. And also here, activate X-ray view. I want to select all of this, go back to object mode, GX, sorry, press 7 on your numpad, and then GX, and you also want to make this more claustrophobic. There you go. Now this is way narrower and it's what we wanted. Now I want to start modeling some pipes, so I'm going to press Shift A and mesh cylinder, press RY90 and GZ, something like this. So now I want to make this thinner, so I'm going to press S and Shift X to scale it like this, and I want something like this. And then SX, so I'm going to press 7, SX, and I'm going to move this right here, and GY, and something like this. I think that's fine. I'm going to press Ctrl A and apply scale, GZ, and I want this roughly right here, and I also want to add a mirror modifier, and I want to select this object and make this. So now there's 2 pipes, and this doesn't look like a pipe yet, because I'm actually going to make 3, I'm going to deselect everything, and I'm going to make 3 loop cuts, and then right click, and now I'm going to select this loop cut right here, pressing Alt like this, I'm going to press Ctrl B to bevel it. Something like this, it's fine. Now I want to get closer here and press right click and extrude faces along normals and make something like this. I'm also going to add 2 loop cuts here and 2 loop cuts here. So now I also want to select one to select the vertices. Go to X-ray view and delete these vertices right here, delete vertices. And now I want to add another mirror modifier. Select this object again, and yeah, so I want something like this. Now I also want to add a subdivision surface, and as you can see, this is doing weird stuff. So you want to press 3, select this face and delete faces. So now it's solved, and then you just press shade smooth and this should look good. Maybe I want to add a bevel modifier and place it above the subdivision surface, and it looks fine. Let me increase the segments, something like this, and also let me increase the subdivisions to 2, and okay, this is already fine. And then, as I already told you, the camera is going to be somewhere right here, so it's going to look like this. I'm going to add another object, a cylinder, so GZ, and I'm going to press S and Shift C to make something like this. Yeah, so this is fine. So I'm going to press Ctrl A and apply scale, and I'm going to go to edit mode. I'm going to select this edge right here, pressing Alt click, and I'm going to press Ctrl B to make a bevel. So here, and then I'm going to use my scroll wheel and make this, and we have something like this. Also, I'm going to add a loop cut in the middle. Go to vertex selection mode, X-ray view, select these vertices and delete vertices. Go back to solid view, and I'm going to add a mirror modifier again, and I'm going to place it on the Z axis. So we have this, and now I'm going to shade smooth, and I'm going to have something like this. So now I'm going to press G, set 7, G, I want this roughly right here, dot on my numpad, and I want this super close to here, and SC, I want to make this smaller and place it roughly right here, set again. I'm going to press S, Shift Z, and make this thinner. And now Ctrl A, apply the scale, G, Y, and GX. And yeah, I want something like this. I'm going to add a mirror modifier again, and I'm going to select this object right here. So we have this, and also select the Y axis, and we will have this. Also select the Z axis to make something like this, and we have these cylinders right here. So now I'm going to add another cylinder, and I'm going to press / key basically to isolate this object, and GZ and SZ, and I want to make this something like this. Ctrl A and apply scale. I'm going to go to edit mode, 3, select this face, and I'm going to make an inset roughly in this area right here, and I'm going to extrude roughly like this, make another inset like this, GZ, to lift this up a little bit. Now I'm going to go to edit mode, and I want to select these faces right here. I'm pressing Ctrl and click to make this selection, and I want to press S and make this smaller, something like this. Now I'm going to select this face right here and press E to extrude this roughly right here. Now I'm going to press Ctrl B to make a bevel, something like this, and GZ to make this larger, something like this. Now I want to add a bevel modifier and increase it to 2 segments, and also add a subdivision surface and increase it to 2. And now basically I want to reinforce this right here and also this right here. Now it looks better. Now I'm going to press 3 to select the faces, and I'm going to select all of I want to press 1 and select all of these right here, and press S and Shift Z basically to make this a little bit more thin. Yeah, and maybe I want this part right here to be more large. Now I want to add another cylinder, yeah, something like this. Now I'm going to select this face and bevel it just like before, and I'm also going to select this face and delete it, and I'm going to select all these vertices and merge at center, so we have something like this. Now I want to select these edges right here, so shift click and select these edges, and also this one right here, and you want to press X and delete edges. There you go. Now you have this. You go to the modifiers and select the skin modifier, go back to edit mode, select everything and press Ctrl A to adjust the size, and you want something like this. There you go. So now I'm going to press SZ to make this larger, and GZ also maybe even larger. Yeah, something like this. 7 and S and Shift Z, and I want something like this. Now Ctrl A, apply scale, and there you go. Now to join all of this, you want to select everything and right click and convert to mesh. What this is going to do is apply all the modifiers at once, and now you also want to press Ctrl J to make this a single object. And yeah, now we have this. Let's press / again so we can see everything, and let's adjust the size and the rotation RX90 and GZS to make it smaller, GX dot your numpad, GX7 on your numpad. I want this roughly right here, GY. So now let's work on the door right here, and I'm not going to model the door just because there's already a free model of the door, so I'm not going to waste my time doing this. I mean, there wasn't a free version of all of this and exactly all of this, but there was a version for the door, so that's what I'm going to do. So go to the assets that I left in the description and go here to bunker door, source, and bunker door FBX, and just drag and drop here, and we will have something like this. So GZ and RZ90 and 7 on your numpad, G of this roughly right here, dot on your numpad, and also let's scale this down, GZ, scale this down, GZ, GY, let's press 3 to make things easier, and yeah, something like this. And now let's select this part right here and press Shift S, cursor to selected, and Shift A, let's add a plane and RY90, there you go, S and GX, and yeah, 3 GX, something like this. And now let's go here to this part where it says door FRAR or something like this, and right click and select hierarchy to select everything right here, and shift click here on the plane and press GX. You want this as close as possible, something like this, and there you go. So now we have this, and it's perfect. Maybe I want, so select the hierarchy, and maybe I want this to be lower, but yeah, this is already enough. Also, I want to add some lights, and I'm not going to model the lights. I'm going to go to the assets that I left in the description and select this sci-fi light GLB and import it, and it's super big right now, RX 180 and RZ90 and S a lot dot on your numpad, GZ S dot on your numpad. S, so we want this to be super not that big, and we want lights roughly right here, RX a little bit, and yeah, we want the lights to be roughly right here, RX, and there you go. The lights are not actually going to be visible in the scene, so I'm going to select the frame and also here the lights and press Ctrl J to make this just one object, and Ctrl A, apply the scale and set origin to geometry. I'm going to press Alt D and X, to move this roughly right here, and I'm going to press Alt D again and X to move this right there. And now I want to add a mirror to the slide right here, select the y-axis and select this object, and then here I'm not going to add a mirror modifier. Instead of that, I'm going to press Alt D again and J and move this right here, move the rotation also, and GY twice, and I want to have something like this. So now that we have this, I'm going to add actually a mirror modifier and select this right here, and we will have this light right here, perfectly symmetrical. Okay, so now I'm going to work in a somewhat difficult part. So press Shift S, cursor to world origin, and Shift A, mesh cube, GZ and /key S and Shift Z to make this thinner, something like this, and SZ to make it something like this. Ctrl A and apply scale. So now go to edit mode and press Ctrl R, and I want 13 cuts, and right click, and I want to select these lines right here and press GY to make something like this, and Ctrl B to make a bevel, and this should be fine. And after doing that, you want to add a modifier and add a bevel modifier with 2 segments, and add another subdivision surface and add 2 levels of subdivisions, and you'll have something like this. And now press SX to make this thinner, and SY to make this thinner right here also, and Ctrl A, apply scale. Now /key again, GZ and GY, and let's get this out of the way for now, and press 3 on your numpad and select this structure right here and press /key, and we will have this. And now press Shift A, curve and circle, and RY90, GZ. Let's try to put this in the middle, and now enter edit mode and start shaping this just like this frame right here. So select these handles right here and try to make something like this, and yes, we have this. So now let's press GX and put this roughly right here, and now /key again and select this, GY, like select this and the curve, and /key again, GX. Let's put this roughly right here. Control S, Control A, and apply all transformations, and set origin to geometry. And now let's select this and add a curve modifier, and select this curve right here. Let's try to see which one suits best for us. In this case is this one. We want something like this. Control A, apply scale, and let's select both and bring back this part right here. Press 3, and S, and yeah, basically you want something like this. GY. And okay, we have something like this. So let's add a mirror modifier. Select this object, and I want something like this. And make sure you have merge activated. And I'm going to scale this. So yeah, this is merging. Okay, to have a little bit more control, I'm not going to make the mirror on the x-axis. I'm just going to make the mirror on the y-axis, and then I'm going to select this and add an array modifier in the x-axis, and I'm going to move this roughly right here. Let me see. Yeah, I want this roughly right here. I'm also going to increase the subdivisions here. Now I want to manipulate this a little bit more comfortably. So I'm going to select this and press right click and convert to mesh, just to apply all the modifiers. And I'm also going to delete this curve. Also, I'm going to select this and go to edit mode and activate X-ray view and select all of this and press P and separate by selection. So now this is an individual object, and we can just manipulate this a little bit better. And in my case, I'm getting these kind of holes right here. So I'm just going to go to edit mode and activate here proportional editing and press G and basically adjust here the size, and I'm going to press G and move this right here a little bit, and basically that's it. It looks ugly, but I mean, I'm not going to make super close-ups right here. As I already told you, the camera is going to be roughly right there. So let's go to the material preview, and we have this. So let's select this cube right here and open here the shader editor, and let's make a new material right here. And I'm going to name this black metal. And I'm going to press the principled BSDF and Ctrl-Shift-T. And if this doesn't happen, you want to go to Edit, Preferences, go to Add-ons, and look here for the Node Wrangler add-on and just tick this and then save preferences. Now, as I was telling you, Ctrl-Shift-T and go to the assets that I left in the description and select the metal 046A and all of that. Basically, you want to select everything right here and then click this button, and it's going to look something like this. You want to disconnect the displacement and decrease the strength to 0.5, and also you want to see if the faces are pointing the right way. In this case, no, because here it's everything red and all this interior part should be blue. So let's go to edit mode and select everything and press Shift N, and here where it says recalculate normals, check inside, and now it should be good. The other thing that you want to do while you selected this is press U and Smart UV project and unwrap, and this should make everything look better. and yeah, it looks better. And then you also want to increase the scale to 4, and now it looks way better. Now you want to give this black metal material to this plane also, so go here and search black metal, and then go here and select the door, right click and select hierarchy to select everything right here, and press shift click to this part right here and press Ctrl L and link materials. So now everything has this black metal material, and this you want to delete the other materials to leave everything like this. And now you don't want everything to be super black. Well, in this case, this glass, I don't want this to be metal, this is glass. So I'm going to go here and select the glass material that I was using while I was practicing, and it's basically this: a refraction BSDF, a glossy BSDF, and a Fresnel node here, and connect all of these to a mix shader, and there you go. Just copy this. Then all these parts right here, I want to use another type of metal, so let me delete this material and create a new one, and I'm going to call this secondary metal, and the base color it's going to be here 91 91 91, so it's gray. And then I'm going to increase the metallic all the way to 1 and the roughness 2.3, and here the coat I'm going to increase it to 0.7, and this is going to be our secondary metal. So basically I want to select all of these details right here, like this, all of these details right here, and also this, and I want to select this material right here at last, and Ctrl L, link materials. So yeah, basically all of these details I want them to be these materials, so Ctrl L, link materials, and there you go. Also this, Ctrl L, link materials. And here, these things right here, I also want them to be the secondary metal, so link materials, and we will have something like this. Then I want to select this part right here, go to edit mode and face selection mode, and basically start selecting these parts right here. And after selecting all of that, you want to press this plus icon right here and look for the secondary metal and press assign. And there you go. Now these details are going to be other type of metal. So I think this black metal is too rough, it's too shiny, so I want to make it more rough, and to make that you want to go here to the roughness and press Shift A and add a color ramp, put it right here, and then the black value you want to make it gray, so it's not that shiny, something like this, and it looks way better in my opinion. Then I also want to texture this. Okay, let's add a new material and let's name this basic material, and it's going to be white, maybe a little bit dark, something like this. And then go to edit mode and select here all of these things with L, and then Control I, and then / key, and then select this again and press H, and then put yourself roughly right here and go to X-ray view 1 and select everything here and press Ctrl plus to select all of this part right here. And now add a new material, select new and name it red light and press assign. So now let's make this red, and yeah, it's working. So yeah, you want something red, obviously. You want it to be shiny, so 0.1. The alpha, I'm going to decrease it a little bit, 0.9. And the subsurface, I'm going to increase it to 1 also. So now it is like this. Now let's texture the pipes. So add a new material, name it pipes. Select the principal BSDF, Ctrl-Shift-T, and then select this metal black right here and select everything and press this button right here. Unplug the displacement and go to edit mode, press A and U and cube projection, something like this. And now let's decrease the size here, something like this. So I think this is good. Let's select the lights and you want to increase the power right here, so go to the emission and put this on 120, roughly right there. And also here you want to select the light and press Shift S and cursor to selected, Shift A and light, point light, GY, and you want this to be roughly right here. You want to make this light red, increase the radius to 1 and decrease the power to 7, and that should be good. Let's also try to place the camera roughly right here. Press Shift A, camera, and Control Alt 0. And then let's make another window right here, and let's make this a 35mm camera. Let's decrease the clip start and increase the passport here in the viewport display. I'm going to get out of the camera here, and I'm going to the camera a little bit, something like this, maybe. GZ Y, GZ R, X twice, and I think something like this is fine. So let's see the render view, how it's going, and yeah, it looks fine. Maybe I want less power on these lights right here, so maybe 90. Okay, so I tweaked the light strength to 73, and yeah, it looks good. I also want to add a little bit of emission to this light right here, so let's go here to emission. Let's make this red, so let me copy the hex code here, Ctrl C, and then go here, Ctrl B to make this red, and 0.5 of strength. Yeah, so this looks way better. So as you can see, we built our scene. Now we need the characters and also need the water simulation, but let's go first with the characters. So the first thing that you want to do to make the characters is go to Mixamo and download this model, Josh. Right here, just press download and download him in the depots. Then you want to go to the MetaTailor website and click here on try for free now. MetaTailor, please sponsor me, and let's start with the character creation. So here in MetaTailor, select new project and name it subscribe, confirm, and then you want to go here to import and import avatar. Then you want to select Josh right here and you will have something like this. So just go to the next step, and here everything should be good. You just have to tweak here the nose tip right here, and the skull base right here, and the skull crown right here. So select next step, and now you want to select this icon right here and select Josh. I have it twice because I made this process twice, so let's delete one of them and select here change avatar. And before doing anything, I'm back to Blender, and I forgot to tell you something, and it's that you have to go to the assets that I left in the description and select here this jumpsuit, the low poly jumpsuit FBX, and just drag and drop it right here and press /key to see it better. So now you want to go to edit mode and face selection, and you want to delete all these faces right here. So select this and press Ctrl plus and delete faces. And after doing that, you want to apply here a subdivision surface and add 2 subdivisions. And I know it's kind of cheating, but it looks better, so just apply it, and there you go. And now select everything right here, go to X-ray view and just select everything, and now go to File, Export, Export FBX, and name it just jumpsuit, and here select limit to selected objects and just export FBX. And then, as I was telling you, go here to import, here in MetaTailor, go to import cloth accessory and select the jumpsuit. And now basically you want to texture this, so go here to color, jumpsuit low poly, textures, and you want this, the Meloc, and Meloc normal, and the Meloc ambient occlusion, Meloc roughness, Meloc metallic, and there you go. Now go down, and to see what are you doing, just play with the metallic values. In this case, I'm still working with these parts right here, so just do the same as we did before. And then this last material is actually the jumpsuit, so select this time the Combes albedo and now the Combes normal, and there you go, we've successfully textured this. So next step, now you want to select here full body right here, and next step, and basically now you want to align this as best as you can. I'm going to increase the scale a little bit, and I'm going to tweak this, and now confirm and start post match. And now you want to start aligning all the body parts right here. And now let's select next step, and we will have something decent to work from now. So what you want to do is export right here, give it a name, choose export path and select export, and I'll see you in Blender again. So here in Blender, in my case, I named it character, so I'm going to import it, and now I have the character right here. I'm going to press /key to work more comfortably with the materials. In my case, I want to select here the jumpsuit and press H, and basically here I want to delete everything right here, and then this part right here, and I don't want to delete here the shoes, and then Shift H, Alt H to bring this back. And now, as you can see, he doesn't have ankles, so let's solve that by pressing 2 to select the edges and start selecting these edges right here. I'm pressing Ctrl to move faster, and Z and just move it up like this. And let's make the same right here, Ctrl to move faster, and let's go Z and move up, and there you go. Now let's go here, and I want to delete the eyelashes, and also I want to select this and shade flat, and basically I want to shade flat everything. Shade flat, and this is just a stylistic choice from FERN, so it's fine. Let's go to material preview and let's delete all of these materials right here. I'm going to keep these materials right here, and this already looks good. Maybe if you want, you can add a decimate modifier and subdivide this a little bit more, so we exaggerate this effect. So 0.5 maybe looks good. And now here the jumpsuit, we want to make it blue. So let me go here to the materials, select this one, that is the green one, and I want to decrease the metallic and the roughness to 0.6. And here, I don't know why MetaTailor does this, but connect the roughness to the roughness. We don't have any alpha information. The convex normal, it's fine, maybe a little bit more, like 2. And here in the albedo, I want to press Shift A and hue and saturation and value, just like this. And now move the hue until you have blue, something like this. So there you go. There you have your character. Now you can start posing it. So let's go here to pose mode, and remember to activate here fade geometry, and also activate here, you will have this as a default, and you want to select this to rotate. And now that you have everything selected, it's a good time to go here to the timeline and see if you have any keyframes. In my case, I don't have any. So if you have any keyframes, you want to delete them. And now we can start posing this guy. So I'm going to press 3, select this pawn right here, and I want to move this like this, and also his neck, something like this. I want to move this a little bit right here, and this a little bit right there. So yeah, I want something like this for the pose, and then I'm going to press /key again to see everything. And now I'm going to select here and select hierarchy to select everything, and I'm going to press SY-1 to rotate this like this, GX. I want to move this guy roughly right here, RZ, and GY, GX, GY. Yeah, something like this is fine. Now I'm going to press Alt D and X to move this guy roughly right here, and press SX-1 like this, and GX to move this guy roughly right here. And now I'm looking at the camera. I know this is not realistic, but yeah, yeah, something like this. And here, let me select this guy, and let's go. Now we have the framing that we want. So let's see here the render view, and yeah, we have this. Now we can start with the fluid simulation. So to make the fluid simulation, you want to go here, press Shift S and cursor to world origin, and Shift A, mesh cylinder, RX90, S, GZ, GY. You want to, yeah, something like this. So Control A, apply scale, and this is going to be your emitter or something like that. So select this object, go to the physics tab and select fluid, and this is going to be flow, and change from smoke to liquid, and from geometry to inflow, and then check initial velocity, and in the Y I'm going to give it like 3. So now let's press Shift A, mesh cube, GZ control, and then change here the pivot point to the 3D cursor to scale this like this, and then change it back to medium point and press SX to cover everything here, GZ, and then go to edit mode, select this face right here and GZ something like this. So now press Ctrl A, apply scale, and this object is going to be, so go to here to the physics, fluid, and it's going to be your domain, and change from gas to liquid and increase the resolution to 100 and go here where it says liquid and select diffusion, and there you go. Basically now you want to select here this cube, go here to the physics, fluid, and it's going to be effector and set to collision and sampling to 2, and I forgot to also increase the sampling here in the cylinder, increase the sampling to 2, and here in this cube also select is planar. After that you want to go to edit, preferences, add-ons, and look for the copy attributes menu and activate it and say preferences. Then you want to select this plane, also shift click on the door frame and select here, select hierarchy, and then shift click on this structure right here and press Ctrl C, copy selected modifiers, don't copy modifiers, copy selected modifiers and go here where it says fluid. Okay, and now all of this has a collision with 2 sampling and is planar also, all of this right here, and it's essentially what we wanted. And then you want to select here the domain and change here from replay to all, and then press here bake all, and now you should see something like this. And if you see like everything is fine, like everything is working correctly, also here shade smooth, if everything is working fine, like it's collapsing right here and it's inundating everything, then you want to press here free all and increase the resolution here to something like 300, so it looks more like water and not this weird thing that doesn't have a lot of resolution. It's going to take a while. In my case it took something like 20 or 30 minutes, but yeah, the result it's actually good. Now I'm going to press here physics, go to the domain, the liquid, and free all, and then you want to go here in liquid, you want to go to particles and activate spray and foam and just leave it as it is. Okay, and then you want to go here and press Shift A and add an icosphere and decrease the subdivisions to 1, and then GZ and go here and make this select here medium point and make this small, something like this. Now go to the shading view, the material preview view, and now you want to go here to the shader editor, new, and name this form, and now you want to press Shift A and add a noise texture, and plug the color into the alpha and change here from FMB to hetero terrain, and this is already good. You want to add a color ramp, you want to move this together so it has more contrast, something like this. This looks good. So after doing this texture, and by the way, if you saw a cut or a change in lighting, I just took a break. So yeah, I'm going to press 7 on my numpad, and now I'm going to press Shift D, rotate this randomly and scale it down, and do this again roughly 7 times. And now that you did that, you want to go to this view roughly. So press 1 and just move this randomly. Something like this. So this is pretty random and it's what we want. And now you have to box select everything and press M and select new collection and name this collection foam particles and create. So now all these objects are here in this foam particles collection. So now what you want to do is go here to the domain and go here to the particles tab, and here where it says spray and foam, you should go here where it says render as and select collection, and here where it says collection you just select the one that says foam particles. Then you also want to select here pick random, and that should be it. Now your water also has like foam and spray. And now to see if everything is working, I'm going to go back to physics, go make sure you selected the domain, and it has a low resolution just so you can preview everything without wasting a lot of time, and go all the way down and just press bake color. So now the simulation is baked, and as you can see it has these particles that we made. And if we go to the viewport shading, well, first of all, this water doesn't have any shading, but here we can see the particles that we just created. Here you can also put random scale to 1 to give it more randomness, and to make sure you can preview this more comfortably, you can disable the viewport display, but don't worry because it will still appear in the render view. And now let's give the water a texture. So go here and create a new texture and make sure it's called water, and then delete the principled BSDF and press Shift A and add a glass BSDF. Now change the color to a somewhat bluish color, and also change here the IOR to 1.333, which is the value that water uses. So yeah, now we have this. Now what you want to do to make sure that this has more resolution is just go here to the physics and check here free all, and then increase the resolution here to 250 to 300, and that's what gave me the best results, but it will take a while. So the water part is done. Now let's do a little bit of animation, camera animation. So go here to the timeline, and you want to see the point where the water is almost like already here. So in my case it's 30. So I'm going to start my animation at frame 30, and then I'm going to end the animation and at 230. Now I'm going to select the camera, go to the data properties of the camera, and I'm going to scroll down, and I have this add-on that it's called Camera Shakeify. Just look for Camera Shakeify in YouTube, and the first video has a link and it shows you all the installation process, and it's super easy and also a super good add-on, and it's free. So after you install the add-on, just press here plus, and the preset that gave me the best results was Outcar Window, and reducing the influence to something like 0.5, and let's see, yeah, this is great. Maybe even less influence, so 0.4, and it's already super good. So now I want to go to the object properties of the camera and make keyframes here on the location, and then go to the last keyframe, and I'm going to disable the view of the water for now, and then I'm going to make another keyframe by pressing G set twice. So I'm going to get close to here and set something like this. Now I'm going to add more keyframes here, and I'm going to select both of these, press T, and then linear, and let's see how it's going. You see it's slowly zooming in while it has all of this shakiness, and it's essentially what we wanted. So we have everything. We have the water that just needs more resolution. We have the entire scene, the characters, and the camera animation with the shakiness. Now I also want to animate this red light right here. So what I'm going to do is make a keyframe here on the power and go 10 frames forward and make another keyframe, and 10 frames forward and make another keyframe. And now this keyframe here in the middle is going to have 0 power. And make sure you make this keyframe, and now you press A to select everything and go here to the graph editor, select here the power and press normalize, and then go to modifiers and add modifier and press here on cycles, and now this animation is going to repeat itself infinite times. And you want to do the same with the emission here of the red light. So go all the way down here and make a keyframe here on the emission, go 10 frames forward, make another keyframe and go 10 frames forward and another keyframe. Now go to the keyframe that is in the middle and reduce the strength to 0. Make another keyframe right here, and now that you have everything selected, go to the graph editor and add modifier and cycles modifier. So now I'm going to change to Eevee just so we can see this faster. We will have this animation right here. And now that we are here, let's press F12 to make an image render. Okay, now that we have this rendered image, we can go here and go to the compositing. Enable here use nodes, and we are going to make some compositing. I'm not an expert here in compositing. I'm going to do a super basic stuff, so if you're a professional compositor, sorry for what you're going to see. So press Shift A and add a viewer node here and plug this here, and then press Shift and right click to make a union there. And if you don't know how to move this, it's basically B to zoom out and Alt V to zoom in, and then if you press the viewer you can move this like this. So let's add some nodes. Okay, so I added this and I didn't comment this because I was like experimenting, but basically this part it's all about the color and the contrast, and then I added some glow and some chromatic aberration. So let me walk you through everything. So let me press M on everything so you don't see the effects. So this is the first image, and now I added a brightness and contrast node, and I increased the contrast just a little bit, like 0.5. Then I added a color balance node, and basically I decreased this a little bit and increased this a little bit. So this is basically the shadows and this is basically the highlights. So I increased both, and then I added a hue, saturation and value just to increase a little bit the saturation. As you can see here, we have this very not so saturated blue and also the red value here, and I gave everything like a little bit more life. And then I added a color correction node and just selected here the blue value and increased the master saturation to 1.05 just to increase a little bit the blue saturation. Then I added a clear node, which is the glow right here that you can see right here. So it's very subtle. The threshold is 5. It is set to bloom instead of streaks, and then high quality and size 8. Then I added a lens distortion node, which added this effect right here that you see, the chromatic aberration, and it's just here on the dispersion. I increase it to 0.01 and I have this result. So make sure you plug both of these right here, so all the changes that you made appear on the final render. Now let's render the entire animation. Basically, you go here to the output and select a folder where you will want the frames of your animation to be exported. Select PNG, RGBA, color depth of 8 and compression down to 0, and then render and render animation. Then you should have something like this, and now you should go here and press this plus button and select video editing, and then again video editing. It will take you here, so now you just press Shift A and image sequence. So now you select everything pressing A and set the start frame to be 1 and the end frame just the amount of frames that your animation has. While I was practicing, I just rendered 60 frames, but I actually recommend rendering 200 frames. In my case, I'm actually going to re-render the animation again and make 200 frames, but I was just practicing, so yeah. Click here, add image strip, and you have here your animation, so you can play it like this. This is the animation that I did while I was practicing, so it's pretty short, that's why I want to make it longer. Now if you want to export this as an MP4 file, you want to go here, select another folder where you want your final animation to be exported, and then change here from PNG to FFmpeg video, and here in the encoding section change from Matroska to MPEG-4, and the output quality select high quality instead of medium quality. Now you go here, render and render animation again. Oh, before rendering, I just forgot adding depth of field to the camera. So just go here, select the camera, go to the data properties and enable depth of field. And here on the eyedropper, you want to select this guy right here, maybe the jumpsuit. And yeah, now that part of the scene is going to be in focus, and then just leave the default values as they are good enough. And now yeah, just go to render and render animation. So this is the final result. If you like this video, you'll probably like this one. Consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.